All right, everyone get ready, because today we are going deep into a world
Yeah.
where reality,
Mm-hmm.
it can be kind of scary, actually.
It is.
We're talking deepfakes and fake news.
Yeah. You've probably heard these terms.
You've heard these terms.
But it's really unbelievable.
Yeah, it's even crazier than you think.
It is way more mind-bending
So that's why we are here
than you might imagine.
in this deep dive.
Yeah.
We're going to be using capitulo0301.pdf as our guide
That's right.
to really explore not just what these technologies are, but how they impact you
Yes, exactly.
and what this all means for the future.
What's really fascinating to me is that this is not some far-off thing.
Right.
You know, like,
Not science fiction.
we're already seeing deep fakes out there being used to scam businesses.
Yeah.
You know, manipulate opinions.
Oh, absolutely.
Even fuel international conflicts.
It's wild. So
Crazy.
let's break it down.
Okay.
What is a deepfake?
What?
Is it really?
Yeah, so think about,
Like imagine Photoshop for videos,
yes,
but with AI so powerful it can like practically read your mind.
that's a really good way to put it.
Okay, good.
Deepfakes use a type of artificial intelligence called deep learning.
Okay.
So think of it
So this is a computer.
as a supercomputer
Yeah.
that just gobbles up tons and tons of data.
Right. Images.
Images, audio.
All this stuff.
All of that stuff.
And it learns.
And then it learns how to just perfectly mimic
Oh.
every move a person makes in sound.
Yeah, and I mean, it's so detailed.
Oh, yeah.
I was reading in the source
Uh-huh.
about criminals using deepfakes to impersonate CEOs.
Oh, gosh. Yeah.
And they're stealing millions of dollars
I know, it's crazy.
by creating fake audio
It's wild.
of a CEO instructing their employees to transfer funds.
Yeah.
That's a 21st century heist, if you ask me.
Yeah, it's a total game changer because humans are,
Literally.
we're just wired to trust what we see and hear.
Yeah.
When AI can make fakes that are
Yeah.
indistinguishable from reality.
It shakes the foundation of how we perceive truth.
Completely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's
It undermines it.
what scares me.
Yeah, it is scary.
It's the potential for chaos.
It's terrifying.
The source talks about a scenario where a world leader is deepfaked declaring war.
Oh, gosh.
Think about the mass panic,
I know.
the political instability, even real-world violence.
Yes, absolutely.
That could happen from fabricated content.
It's a chilling thought.
It is.
You know, it's not just about misinformation. It's about this mass manipulation.
On a scale we've never seen.
Yeah.
And then on top of all that, we have fake news,
Oh, yeah.
which we know was already a problem.
Already a problem.
But deepfakes,
It just makes it worse.
they're like lighter fluid
Oh my gosh, it's like rocket fuel.
for spreading lies.
It is.
We're not just talking.
You see, not altered photos anymore.
You know, photoshopped images.
We're talking about AI
That's it.
creating entire fake events
From scratch.
from scratch. So
And you think about
that's crazy.
how much you're scrolling through social media every day.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, how can you even be sure what's real?
How can you know
What's real?
what's real and what's not?
And what's
Yeah.
carefully constructed fiction?
And how does that affect our ability to, you
Yep.
know,
Except,
form our opinions, make decisions?
yeah, it's like we're wading through
It's like a swamp
a swamp of information.
of information.
And you don't know what's solid ground.
You don't know what's going to hold you up.
You just sink right in.
Exactly.
But there is some good news.
There is.
The source mentions researchers are working on deepfake detection tools
That's right.
that can look for these tiny
Tiny little glitches.
glitches that betray the fakery.
Yeah.
But
It's encouraging.
it's encouraging.
But it's like this,
But it feels
like an arms race.
because as the detection gets better,
Right.
the deepfakes get better too.
So they're always going to be
It's this
one
constant.
step ahead. Cat and mouse game.
So no silver bullet.
No silver bullet.
But there's another interesting idea in the source.
What's that?
Digital watermarking.
Oh, yeah.
It's like a digital signature
Yeah. It's like a,
embedded in a video or an audio file that can verify its authenticity.
yeah, like a little lie detector test.
Built in.
Built in, yeah.
That's pretty neat.
It's a cool idea.
But the challenge is getting everyone on board.
That's right.
You'd need tech companies,
Well, companies.
governments,
Yeah.
content creators,
Content
for
creators.
everyone to adopt it,
Everyone.
which that's a big ask.
Yeah.
But you know what?
Yeah.
There is something we
Right.
can all be doing right now,
Absolutely.
and that is sharpening our
Yes.
media literacy skills,
That's right.
being aware of this tech.
Knowing it exists.
Knowing it exists helps you question what you see online.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But here's the thing.
What's the thing?
Even the biggest skeptics
Yeah.
can be fooled by a really well-made deepfake.
Oh, yeah.
Especially if it plays
Like
into
they're already existing biases.
agrees with what you already think.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like
It's kind of like
that old saying, a lie.
a lie can travel halfway around the world.
Right.
While the truth is putting on its shoes.
It's true.
But now,
The lie's got
the lie has a private jet
a supersonic jet.
and a team of AI experts making it look perfect.
Exactly.
So
Oh, man.
this brings up,
Yeah, let's talk about this
Oh,
other element of
we
complexity.
talked about the tech,
Yeah.
the chaos.
But what about the ethical and legal minefield this opens up?
Oh, yeah, that's huge.
So that's a whole other
A whole other
deep dive for another day.
deep dive.
But I am curious, what are some of the biggest ethical dilemmas
Yeah, that's a good question.
this technology poses?
Well, I mean, first of all,
Yeah.
who's responsible when a deepfake causes harm?
Right.
Is it the person who made it?
Yeah.
The person who shared it? The platform?
The platform that hosts it.
Yeah, and how do you
That's hard to tell.
how do you even start to regulate
Right.
something that can be made so easily online
Yeah.
and often anonymously?
And so quickly.
yeah,
It's like we're
we're making the rule book
writing the rule book
as we go.
as we go along.
And the technology is already so far ahead.
It's already light years ahead.
Yeah, it is.
The source mentions several cases
Yeah.
where deepfakes have been used for revenge porn,
Oh my gosh.
fraud, and even to influence elections.
It's scary.
It's terrifying.
Yeah.
It really feels like we're just scratching the surface of
Yeah.
all the
of the potential
negative consequences.
negative consequences.
But before we dive too deep into the doom and gloom,
right.
let's shift gears a little bit
Yeah.
and talk about what's being done to fight back.
Okay.
Because it's not all bad news.
No, it's not all bad news.
Right.
There's some good news too.
Okay, good. Yeah. There are definitely people working hard to, counter the dark side of the stack.
Yeah.
It's not just about like playing defense either.
Right.
Some researchers are actually exploring how deepfakes can be used for good.
Okay, now that's interesting.
Yeah.
I admit it's hard for me to see past the potential for harm.
Right.
But what kind of positive applications are we talking about?
Well, for instance, the source mentioned using deepfakes in education.
Oh,
Like, imagine creating historically accurate
Oh, wow.
deepfakes of famous figures.
Okay.
So you could bring history to life
That'd be amazing.
in a way that like textbooks never could.
Yeah, to actually see
Yeah.
and hear like Abraham Lincoln
Right.
give the Gettysburg Address.
Exactly.
Yeah, we'll talk about immersive learning.
Yeah, totally.
That'd be incredible.
And in the entertainment industry, deepfakes could be used to create, really realistic digital doubles of actors.
Okay.
Which would allow for, groundbreaking special effects.
Yeah.
Or even like posthumous performances.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So you could have actors
Yeah.
who have passed away
Still acting.
still performing. Wow.
It's pretty wild.
That's pretty crazy.
Yeah.
But it raises ethical questions, doesn't it?
Oh, absolutely. Huge ethical question.
Yeah, who controls the rights
Right. Who owns?
to a person's digital likeness
The rights to that.
after they're gone?
Yeah. I mean,
Sounds like a big question.
that's a big one. And it really gets to like the heart
yeah.
of the challenge with this technology because it has so much potential,
Right.
good and bad,
Yeah.
that it makes us really have to think about
Yeah. What are we?
some fundamental questions
What does it even mean?
about identity and truth
To be human
and on reality.
in a world where reality can be manipulated.
Yeah, exactly.
That's kind of profound.
It is. And the source actually even mentions that
Really?
deep fakes and fake news are forcing us
Oh, wow.
to evolve our critical thinking skills
Yeah.
so much faster.
It's like warp speed
Yeah.
for your brain.
Because it's not enough
Right.
to just be skeptical anymore.
You have to be
You have to be like a digital detective, constantly questioning,
Constantly.
analyzing what you see and hear.
You know, it's funny. When I was a kid,
Mm-hmm.
my grandpa used to always tell me,
What to say?
don't believe everything you see on TV.
Don't believe everything you see on TV.
I guess that advice
Yeah.
is more relevant today than ever.
Except now.
Except now,
It applies to everything online.
everything online,
Yeah.
not just TV.
It's true.
Yeah.
We're just bombarded with so much information
Yeah.
from so many sources
Everywhere.
that it's really easy to
Yeah.
feel overwhelmed
Right.
and just
Be a trap.
lose track of what's going on. But I think the key is to like develop that.
To develop
inner
the
BS detector.
Oh, I like that.
You know, that sense of discernment. That helps us kind of like
weed through it all.
Weed through all of it.
So how do we do that?
Yeah.
How do we become these savvy digital detectives?
Digital detectives.
You're talking about?
Well, a big part of it is media literacy.
Yeah. Okay. So we have to understand.
We have to really understand how these technologies work.
How they work. Okay.
How they can be used to manipulate us.
Right.
And what we can do to protect ourselves.
Okay. But let's be real.
Okay. Yeah.
Most people aren't going to become experts in AI.
Or deepfake detection.
Or deepfake detection.
Yeah.
What are some practical things?
That's a good question.
That everyone can do?
Yeah, what can we do every day?
To spot
these fakes.
The fakes?
Well, one of the most important things is to always think about the source.
Okay, the source.
Like, who's sharing this information?
Right, where's it coming from?
What's their agenda?
Yeah, what's their motivation?
Are there any red flags?
Red flags, okay.
That kind of suggest bias or a lack of credibility.
So you're saying think critically about...
Think critically. Yes. The website, the social media account.
Social media account.
The person.
The person behind the information.
Yeah, the person behind the information.
But sometimes that's not enough.
Right.
What if it looks and sounds totally legit?
Right. What if it seems legit?
Are there any telltale signs?
Yeah, are there any signs?
Of a deepfake itself?
Of a deepfake itself.
We can look for.
There are some.
Okay, good.
But they're getting harder to spot.
As technology gets better.
As the technology gets better, yeah.
Of course.
But one thing to look for.
Okay, what's that?
Is inconsistencies.
Okay.
In the video or the audio.
So like,
does the person's mouth move naturally?
Okay. Does it match up?
Does it match up?
With what they're saying?
With what they're saying? Does their voice sound...
Does it sound...
A little robotic?
A little weird?
A little too perfect?
Yeah.
So you have to pay attention to those little details.
The subtle details. Those glitches.
The glitches.
That might
reveal...
Give it away.
That it's fake.
Okay.
But even then...
Yeah.
It's not foolproof.
It's not 100%.
No.
So...
That's why it's so important.
What else can we do?
To cross-check information.
Cross-check, okay.
So if you see something...
If you see something crazy...
Shocking or unbelievable...
Okay.
Don't just share it.
Right. Don't just automatically believe it.
Just share it blindly.
Take a minute.
Take a few minutes.
And do a little research online.
Research it.
And see if other reputable news sources...
Yeah, or other people...
Are reporting the same stories.
Yeah. Okay, so verify it.
Verify it.
Good advice.
It's like that old saying...
If it sounds too good to be true...
If it sounds too good to be true, it probably is.
It probably is.
Yeah.
But what about those times?
What about...
When we're just not sure.
You know, the source seems credible.
Right.
There aren't any obvious signs.
There's no, of
fakery.
Smoking gun.
But you still have that feeling.
You still have that
in your gut.
Yeah.
Like something's not right.
Like something's off. And that's where I think your intuition comes into play.
Okay.
Trust your gut.
Trust your gut.
If something feels off...
Yeah.
It's okay to be skeptical.
Okay.
And to do a little more digging.
So it's critical thinking.
Yeah.
Media literacy and trusting your gut.
It's all of it.
But even with all of that. It feels like.
It still feels like.
We're at a disadvantage.
We're playing catch up.
Yeah.
Because technology...
Because the tech is just advancing.
As if advancing so rapidly.
No, that's it.
And those who want to deceive us.
Right.
They're
getting better and better.
More sophisticated.
More and more sophisticated.
All the time.
Yeah.
I mean, is it even possible?
To win this fight.
It's a good question.
Against fake news and deepfakes.
It is a good question.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
It feels like David and Goliath sometimes.
It does.
But I think you said something really important.
What's that?
It's a fight. Not a foregone conclusion.
Yeah. We can't just give up.
We can't give up.
We may not be able to stop every fake.
Right.
But we can at least...
But we can learn.
How to equip ourselves.
Equip ourselves to make better decisions.
To make smarter decisions.
Yeah.
That's a good point.
And the more people that are aware of this...
Right.
And start thinking critically...
Yeah.
The harder it's going to be.
We're fakers.
So spreading this stuff.
To succeed, yeah.
It's like building up
an immunity.
Yeah.
A collective immunity.
Yeah, a collective immune system.
Against fake news.
I like that.
Yeah.
So it's not about living in fear.
Right.
Or being cynical.
It's about being...
It's about being empowered to navigate this new world.
Yeah, with your eyes wide open.
With our eyes wide open.
Exactly.
Well, what about the bigger picture?
Okay.
What impact are these deepfakes and this fake news
What's it doing?
having on society?
Your society as a whole.
I mean, it's a huge question.
It is a huge question.
But the source argues that it's eroding trust.
It is, yeah.
Not just in, like, individuals or institutions, but in truth itself.
In the whole...
The idea of truth.
The whole concept of truth.
When you can't trust.
Yeah, when you don't know
what you see.
What to believe.
What you hear, what's real, what's not.
It creates so much uncertainty.
Yeah, this uncertainty.
Instability.
It
affects everything.
Right.
Your relationships.
Yeah, our personal lives.
Our political systems.
Political systems.
How you view the world.
It's like that saying, the first casualty of war is truth.
The first casualty of war is truth.
But in this case, the war is being fought.
The war is on information.
Yeah, on this battleground of information.
We're all
caught in the crossfire.
We're caught in the middle.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's scary.
And the stakes are high.
They are high.
The source cited some examples of deepfakes being used
to do all kinds of bad things.
To incite violence.
Yeah, incite violence.
Interfere with elections. Damage people's reputations. It's a powerful tool.
Yeah, it is.
That can be used in really dangerous ways.
It can be weaponized.
What? So what can we do?
That's the question.
I mean, we've talked about individual responsibility.
Yeah.
But is that enough?
Well,
I mean, what about...
What role do...
governments...
and these tech companies...
need
to play?
What do they need to do?
Well, the source suggests that governments need to come up with some clear laws.
Okay. Legal frameworks to address the people.
The misuse of deepfakes.
Who are using this in harmful ways.
Yeah, the bad actors. And at the same time...
Tech companies need to
be investing in...
Invest in better detection tools.
Okay. And put safeguards in place.
Safeguards to prevent the spread.
To stop this stuff from spreading.
Of all this misinformation.
Yeah.
So it's like...
So it's kind of like a two-pronged approach.
Yeah, holding
people accountable.
Who are creating and distributing
and spreading
this harmful content.
Yeah.
But also giving people the tools.
But also empowering people
to protect themselves.
Exactly.
But laws and technology.
Yeah.
They can only go so far.
That's true.
What about the ethical side of this?
Right. Like,
how do we make sure
this
technology is used responsibly?
That it's used ethically. Well, I think a lot of that comes down to education and public awareness.
So the more we understand...
The more we all understand about deepfakes and fake news.
About how it works. And the impact.
The better we'll be.
At
making good choices.
About
how we use it.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's kind of this...
It's a multifaceted approach. It's like we're all...
trying to build a dam.
Building a dam.
To hold back
this flood.
A flood of misinformation. And every brick counts.
Every little bit helps.
So as we wrap up our deep dive... into this world of deepfakes and fake news. The key takeaway.
Is...
a complex issue.
There's no easy answers.
But by understanding the technology...
By understanding it.
Sharpening our critical thinking skills.
Thinking critically.
And engaging...
Yeah. And being responsible.
Responsible information sharing.
About how we share information. We can do a better job.
We can protect ourselves.
Protecting ourselves.
From the worst of its potential harms.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well said.
It's about being aware.
Being aware, yeah.
Being informed. Being proactive.
And remember, truth is out there.
The truth is out there.
But sometimes you have to work a little harder.
But sometimes you have to dig a little deeper.
To find it. So to our listeners, we encourage you to explore this topic further.
Keep learning.
Check out the full source material.
Yeah, read the whole thing.
Capitulo031.pdf.
Capitulo031.pdf.
And the next time you're scrolling through social media...
Right, or watching a video.
Online.
Just remember
what we talked about today. Question what you see.
Yeah.
Consider the source. And trust your gut. Because in a world...
where anything can be faked, where reality can be manipulated...
Critical thinking.
Yeah, critical thinking is
our most powerful weapon.
Your best defense.
Thanks for joining us.
Thanks for listening, everybody.